So we are live. Let's put some. All right, everyone. Welcome everyone to a new episode of our leadership series. Today with me, I have a special guest that I love very much because I know you from before and we seem to be matching. We did not agree on the color, but somehow we end up being in this light purple that feels so calm and soft, right? And this is who is my beautiful guest, Dusya Lyubovskaya, and she's an incredible woman. She's at Harvard, connecting from Harvard because she's an international coordinator and doing research in nuclear medicine. So it's gonna be fascinating conversation. Let's go and welcome my dear Dusya. Mm.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hyde. I'm really honored to be here.
I'm so happy. And you are also in the G100. So we're going to talk about many things. So, first of all, what brought you into being so interested in nuclear innovation and nuclear medicine? Like before even nuclear,
Yeah,
medicine, just say nuclear world.
sure. Yeah, so my journey started with medical sciences. So I was originally studying medical science at Harvard.
Mhm,
I was also working in medical field because I wanted to like gain experience in medical field as well as study it.
mhm,
And I was really focusing on cancer treatments because I was working with patients who had cancer and other issues.
mhm,
And when I was studying medical sciences, I was looking for answers. Like I was looking for something innovate. I was looking for some like, okay, this we never did this before.
mhm,
And while I was working in medical field, I would talk to my bosses, like um, the head of the departments, and I would ask like, what is out there? Because I was just not really happy with the results that I was seeing when we were helping patients. And this took a few years, and then in 2020,
mhm.
approximately, I was also, besides taking medical sciences, I was also offered by my academic advisor to take some other courses. And he said,
Harvard.
you need to
Always
be,
at
yeah,
Harvard. Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
And he said, you need to be challenged. I said,
Okay.
okay.
Wanted to be,
So he took,
so you
yeah,
wanted more courses. You wanted to be challenged.
yes, exactly. And at the same time, he offered me to take a engineering class. So,
Good.
and I thought, okay,
Here's
I mean,
here's all
yeah.
to the engineering department. That's my department. Oh my God. We walk
And
the same corridors. I love
yes.
that.
And I
Wow.
thought, sure, and I said, and you know what? I decided, sure, I had relatives who studied engineering, so why not? And
Hmm.
so I took engineering class,
Hmm.
and I was
Which
doing an
class
essay
did you take?
on
Which
geothermal, I was taking a class on geothermal energy. I was
okay.
writing an essay on that,
That's
and
tough.
then I love challenges.
Oh,
And so, and so I was looking through the internet while I was in class, and then we were in a laboratory doing different engineering projects. And then I was like, okay, let's see, there's nuclear energy. What is that about? And my professor like, oh no, we're not covering that. Like, okay, but I want to know. Like,
but
I
I
want to
want
know
to
what that is.
know. Oh, so you
Exactly.
always have that curious mind.
Exactly. And then I looked it up and I thought, wow, that is interesting. And so I got the book and I read the book from 97, like, okay, that's good, but I need more. And then I
Uh-huh.
started looking at YouTube videos like Kurt Sorensen, and I don't know who else was I was looking for because
You
I'm a
started
visual
teaching
learner and
yourself.
hands-on.
So
Hmm?
you started teaching yourself about nuclear engine.
Nuclear energy, yes.
Energy.
Yes. Yeah. So like nuclear energy engineering. And so that brought me to like look up what is nuclear energy in the first place. And
Energy
so I
engineering.
yeah, and so I looked up a bunch of videos on YouTube and I thought, that's the answer. Like I immediately thought about my medical science education, and that's what I'm looking for. That's what I've been thinking about. Like I thought all that to medical,
So
like we were talking about medical
impressive.
isotopes and
Impressive. you. But this is like, what?
Yes,
It's like you
exactly.
didn't have enough. Your classes were not a fun. You're not a medical science. You're like, you know what? Let me just add more confusion to my life with engineering and nuclear engineering. And
Exactly. And then yeah, and then I thought this is what I'm looking for. And then at the same time, at some point, I found the website of Thorium Network,
uh-huh.
and I thought, okay, I know this sounds childish, but I don't really care. But I'm looking at the website of Thorium Network. I'm looking at all this research thing that it's talking about. And I'm thinking, that is Disneyland for scientists. Like this is so exciting,
I love
and
that. This
I
is Disneyland for I have to write this down. This is Disneyland for land for science. Wow.
yes.
Oh
And so
my.
I contacted, and so I didn't even know, like, I didn't know what to do. Like, okay, I like this, I love this. And so I went to the website. I did like contact, like looked all over the website, and they said, okay, I want to know, like, I want to know. And so I contacted the Door Network, and coincidentally, it was the founder personally who said, hello, how can I help you, and so forth. And so I started talking to the founder, and he said, if you know, if you want to, you can get interviewed, and you can be part of the team. And I said, I have no idea about, like, I don't know what to do.
I just
I
been
said, don't
watching
worry.
you after
Yes.
my engineering class. Ah, this is you taking action. I love this. Okay.
And then yeah, and then the founder and I, we then had a conversation, and he said, you know what, you can join the team, you can help. I said, I'm happy to help. I have no idea what I'm doing. Like I didn't want to embarrass myself. I said, no worry, you can learn. And when he said you can learn by doing, and I thought he's speaking my language because I am a hands-on learner. And so I started volunteering for a Thorium Network, and I started learning about nuclear energy and helping with articles. And I thought, I learned here more than I could ever in my entire lifetime. It was mind blowing. And coincidentally, at the same time, so this was like happening during COVID time, mind
Yeah.
you,
Coven time.
and and at the same time, coincidentally, I did not even talk to my academic advisor about this. But my academic advisor then said, "You know what, Dusya, you're doing these classes," and we were talking about other classes I was taking, and said, "You know what? I think the medical science is not really for you." And I'm just saying, like, okay, what's going on here?
What made you
My
think that? Yeah. And what was
yeah, and he said, you already know everything in medical science. Like you know already everything. But biotech, that's where you should go. And I'm like, biotech, okay, I know about biotech, but give me more information. What are you
that?
thinking of? Exactly. And then he described everything I would be said, like nuclear and everything. Like this is a really odd coincidence.
So he
So
started
it's
talking
like,
to you about nuclear. That's incredible.
yes,
So he
yes. And so
your life and everybody around you to be so aligned with your interests. That's
mhm.
the story.
Yeah, and so it said, okay, sign me up. And so I took biotech, and I just kept going. And I took I started doing laboratory work, and I was a research assistant. And my professor said, okay, you can keep going. Like, this is you, this is who you are. And I said, I agree, this is who I am. And then I discovered the thorium molten salt that's used for electricity, but also I learned about the metal isotopes. I'm trying not to get scientific, but I get passionate. But when I learned about that, I realized this little teeny tiny salt can be used to decrease or cure illnesses, just
Wow.
as this teeny tiny salt can be used for electricity. I'm thinking this is multifaceted. I'm multifaceted, and this thing can be used with so many benefits to help the planet. And I'm thinking, this is like there's no words for it. And I realized, okay, this is my research. I want to research this.
Mhm.
And mind and never mind, I've been working with patients who have cancer. And then there's some I know of somebody who has chronic illness issue, like they have a chronic illness. And I thought, okay, the doctors can't figure out how to help this person. And I'm thinking, I every time when I hear a doctor say, like even when they're not necessarily talking to the patient, but when they're saying like, okay, we have to figure out how to handle this. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm turning into Columbo, like the detective Columbo. Okay, what's going on there? Like, what's going on with that illness?
You
And realize, and then I started doing research with the total molten salt, and I have data showing that the total molten salt is the answer. Like, I have literally data to show that.
I am so
And
proud of you, Lucia. You
thank you.
are incredible. You
Thank you.
really are.
Thank
Because
you.
you came to your own discovery on your
Hmm.
own.
Yes.
Wow. And I think you are a represent. And I hope everybody listening to us here, because a lot of time people wait for their professor to tell them what type of innovation you can find in your research. But it's
Hmm.
actually the researcher to
Hmm.
follow their heart and their guidance to find it. And you are a representation of this. I salute you, Lucia. I'm so
Thank you.
impressed.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Really?
Sorry, I just love to do that.
But it's incredible. So
Yeah.
you medical studies, science,
Hmm.
then you
Yeah.
discovered engineering that took you to the nuclear energy and
Hmm.
engineering to bring you
Yeah.
full circle back to the
Yes.
innovation you came initially to discover
Hmm.
in medical science.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I, my head's up, my
Thank
dear.
you. And
Wow. It's great. Yeah.
yeah,
How
and
does it feel?
I well, my research is not over. It's starting. I mean, I would say I'm starting.
You say starting,
I I
starting?
mean,
When do you say I'm
I mean,
in?
I already started the research in the laboratory, and I was doing a lot of it. Like that's why I have the data. I was able to do more research and work with like do everything that was at my disposal.
Uh,
And then my professor said, this is great, but like they had their way of saying, okay, slow down, slow down. And so I'm
uh,
thinking, okay, what's going on here?
uh,
And then they were like, okay, slow down, don't put the lab on fire. And you're like, I'm just doing research. Like, I mean, come on, I'm just talking to adult. Like, what's going on? And then I realized that my research was like a little too much, if you will. And
mm,
so I contacted, and I was able to contact University of Geneva, and I even looked at their website as well. I did similar like to what I did with our network, and
mm,
I looked at the website and I saw CERN. I don't want to mispronounce the word, but I looked at what they do, and I realized that is where I belong. That's where my future is because
wow.
they do research that for them, what I'm doing is going to be like, sure, sure, we're used to doing this. Like, yeah, come on, come on over. And
Enough.
so I contacted them. I sent them half of my paperwork, and they said, okay. And now they're working with Harvard University. They're doing all the paperwork, and it's just going back and forth. And meanwhile, I'm just sitting here writing on my research. I have not been in the laboratory in quite some time, but I'm writing my papers. I've
Uh-huh.
completed half of my work on paper, so I could just publish it as soon as I'm in Switzerland. And they say, okay, everything, excuse me, everything is done, everything is good,
You're my
everything looks
favorite
good, we can do
scientist
this.
ever. You are my favorite scientist ever. Like, wow. We
Thank
would
you.
have never expect this genius in you. So can you can you guide me a little bit about when is
Sure.
research enough to say I've done my research? How much is it by numbers of patient you heal, by trials? What is it?
I can read, I want to say, res- if I were to talk about patients, there's always going to be patients that need healing, always.
Mm,
Because because we don't have clean air. Our environment is very like it's not clean, and
mm,
as long as we always gonna have people who are sick. So
mm.
me saying okay, we won't have any more patients, that's not realistic. I would say when I have a certain number of people who I've healed with this medicine that I started, then I know okay, this is it. This is it, and I did trial and error, and everything looks good. And if I see at least 10 people
Okay,
who
that's what
can
I
have
wanted
a
to know. I
nice
wanted the
life,
number.
yes,
So you need 10. 10.
10 people have a healthy life who can
Uh-huh.
say, thank you, thanks to you, I was able to spend time with my family, thanks to you, I could graduate, or thanks to you, I could, whatever that case may be, whatever it is they want to accomplish before they got that disease. When they have 10 people, I will know, okay, my work is done here. And then I know, maybe I'm going to do research on something else. I don't know, but this is my goal. I want to do this research. When I have these 10 people, when I have this paper, I write this book, and when I write this book and I say, okay, these are the names of these 10 people who said thank you to whoever helped me, then I'll know my mission is done.
So we have to write your name really well because I know one day I'm gonna see it shining everywhere. I am so impressed by your work,
Thank you.
Dusya. Truly, because I followed your path. I mean, I've connected with you before, so I know where
Hmm.
you were going. And I see you how you went through this engineering and
Hmm.
nuclear engineering, and I'm like, wow, this is not the path anyone would have expected to bring you full circle back to what
Hmm.
you do. Um, as in this type of research, doesn't
Hmm.
it have to start really confidential in terms of what you do and in terms of the impact that it creates? Or how do you work with research like this in your field? Mm.
The thing is, I am very unconventional,
Hmm.
and although I know that there are rules and regulations to follow,
Hmm.
the thing is, if someone tells me we cannot do research on this because of regulations, I'm thinking, okay, I do
Ah.
understand that,
Mm.
but we're working with like we have different specimens. Okay,
Mhm.
I love working with microscopes since I first discovered the microscope in when I was 8 years old.
You did?
Okay,
Hey.
yes,
Oh, that's like my
yes,
little girl. Really? I
yes,
need to get her
yeah.
on. She can get me this
What?
gene out of her. I need to get her.
Yeah,
8 years
I seriously, as soon as I was looking at through a microscope, I was second grade. I was 8 years old, looking through a mic, and although we were just looking
old.
at the leaf, I was seriously, I was so excited. Everybody got what? Did the ice cream truck? Did the ice cream truck come? Like, what's going on here? And then, and then when my mother, when I was, here's the thing. When I was a child, I would talk about everything that was exciting in school, and then I would go home like, Mother, guess what? I was like, blah, blah, blah. And she was okay, okay, like everything. And then I talk about microscope, like, okay, like she did this, like, okay, wow, this is what she likes. Okay, let's go with it. And so I was doing a lot of laboratory work even when I was in high school. And every time I was looking at the microscope, every time I was doing science, like everybody, like, is she okay? Like, what's going on with her? But I don't
You're
care. That's who I am.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you're fascinated by discovering the reality and the science behind things. I think that's
Yes.
amazing. What do you think have helped you
Hmm.
develop such critical and beautifully intelligent mind? What is it that helped you?
I honestly don't know how to answer that question. I mean, regarding critical thinking skills, I would say, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's even related, but my mother read to me a lot of books, fairy
Yeah,
tales that
yeah,
helped me understand the world, like Snow White, Winnie the Pooh, like all these stories. And besides that, I was a quick learner in reading as well. Like
okay,
I
well,
learned to read, yeah, like I learned to read when I was 4 or 5, but that's beside the point. But I was reading a lot of fairy tales, and I learned a lot about life
uh-huh.
from reading and from my family. Like my family was surrounded by lawyers, by engineers, by diplomats. I was learning about the world by listening to their stories. Even, I mean, they were not sharing confidential information, but they were just talking about this is like this case, like what happened in court, like what happened with the justice system, and let's say in Poland. Like I grew up with people who were from uh, all different countries, different backgrounds, and
Yes.
learning from their experience. That just, I would say that definitely made me who I am today.
Yeah, it made you curious to always see what's
Yes.
behind things. And I
Mm-hmm.
think this is very good to extract. It's really what I can really keep here is like the power of curiosity, a mind
Mm-hmm.
that is curious. Because when you're curious, you always what's behind. You always question
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah.
right questions. And finding the right questions gives you the right answers, right? And you can move
Yeah.
forward. Yeah. I love that. Curiosity. Yeah.
Yeah. I was born like that.
Mhm. You were born
I
like that.
was
Yeah. I
I
mean,
was
yeah.
born curious, yes.
You were born curious, and also your parents and your surrounding was able
Mm-hmm.
to feed in that curiosity, which makes it grow and amplify. Not
Yes.
like, don't do that. This is not your business. Don't look at this. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is what is important because that's who makes us who we are later on. Is
Exactly. Exactly. And when I was a child, there was some I mean, there was some issues like, okay, can you even learn this? And my grandmother's philosophy was let her listen. Is there something that she does not want to listen to? It's her choice if she doesn't want to. It's up to her. Just
Oh,
want her to
wow.
learn.
I
Yes.
love that. That's interesting how you brought your grandma's figure here, because
Yes.
you always have that somebody always there to like give you love and just believe
Hmm.
that you can do anything. Yeah, that's incredible. But did you ever thought that you will be finding yourself in this field that is so,
Not at
new?
all. No. I had so many different ideas of what I would be doing. I thought I was going to be working as a doctor for the rest of my life, or I was going to be a scientist for the rest of my life. Like, I never thought I would go like globally. I honestly never thought that. I just thought because here's the thing: when I was at home with my family, my mind was European. Like, oh, this is how it's done in different countries. And then when I was in school, like, this is how it's done in the United States. And I never thought, okay, I'm just going to be focusing on what's going on at the Ivy League University here. What I'm going to be doing here. Maybe I'm just going to be traveling to New York and so forth. But then when I was studying medical sciences, and then when I was working, I thought this is doesn't feel enough. This is not enough. I just felt this was not enough. And
Mm-hmm.
then when I connect with our network, and then also with the an organization that I'm part of as well, like the International Plasma Research Institute, which we call affectionately IPRI. When I connect with
Yes,
these are global organizations,
they
and I
are.
realized I am a global person. That's how I was born. Like I was born about around people from all
I
different
love that.
countries, and I
Yes.
realized I can't be
Natural.
put into a box. Yeah,
No,
I just
it just
can't.
felt natural that this is the space where you
Hmm.
belong, where you
Yes,
thrive, and where you find yourself always. Yeah,
yes,
yeah, and it is a mindset. It's like where do you put yourself is where you find it. Like okay,
yes.
where I belong, and it just feels normal and natural. So
Hmm.
you've been nominated ambassador for the Thorium Network. Can you tell us about it?
Yes.
What is it for? Yeah.
Sure. So as an ambassador is what is like I'm representing sorry, I am representing the Thorium Network,
Uh-huh.
and what that entails is I like when people reach out to me on LinkedIn or when I connect with people on LinkedIn who are interested about what the Thorium Network is about, I connect
Uh-huh.
with them. I'm also a liaison for
Uh-huh.
organizations because although we have an organization, we have board members, like we have. Uh, Different like board members who can talk about okay this is what our network is and you're welcome to support us and so forth. And although we also have a newsletter, but some people they see the Tor network and they're thinking, what is that? Like, who are you? What are you doing? And so they
Yes. What is
contact
it?
me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and so the Tor network is in our organization that focuses on advocacy, education, and supply of fission energy, which is part of the thorium. So thorium is like an umbrella term
Yes.
related to thorium. So the thing is, we use oil for electricity. We use oil for electricity, like to cook meals for cars and so forth. Fission energy is a clean, sustainable source of energy,
Mhm.
as well as can be used for medical isotopes, which is what got my attention.
Mm.
And when you use electricity from thorium, let's say you're in some kind of part of the world where like I'm going to use my background as a Red Cross volunteer. I used to be a part of the Red Cross, and
Mhm.
what we did, we helped people who were recovering from disaster, whether it was earthquakes, storms, or other natural disasters. And when the natural disaster occurs, you lose electricity
Uh-huh.
because there's like everything's down. But with
Yes.
nuclear energy, you don't have to have that problem. Whether you're in some parts of India or some parts of Africa or wherever else
Hmm.
where there's most likely to be a natural disaster for whatever reason, when you have nuclear energy as electricity, you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to think, oh my gosh, there's a snowstorm. Oh my God, there's an earthquake. We're going to lose electricity. When you have nuclear energy, you don't have to worry about it. Look, it's like the nuclear power plant. It can be as small as, I don't know, you could put it on a farm and you could put it on the street and it would give electricity, it would provide electricity to as far reaching as necessary.
Mm.
And that energy, it doesn't care about weather problems. It just doesn't. Like it's just gonna be there. And as soon as there's a problem, it just keeps going 24/7. It just keeps going. And that's what I love about it.
That's
Education is where we explain about fission energy, like how it works. Like people ask, okay, but how do you even get this kind of electricity? Well, you can just build a nuclear power plant wherever you need it. Like it can be as small or as big as necessary, doesn't matter. And you also explain how the electricity works. Like,
okay.
yeah,
That's I love that.
um,
That's nice. And you have time to do all of this? How do you manage all
yeah.
of this, because you're
I'm
also
not the
in
person. Yeah.
you're also in
What?
the G100. You are also in the G100
Yes.
and
Yeah.
mission. Ah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just used to doing it a lot. I'm just used to it, I guess. I
And
was
so
doing it. Yeah. Yeah.
how do you see
Uh-huh.
your research unfolding going forward?
Um, I know that most researchers they say either there's two versions.
Okay.
Either they say I'm going to work in the laboratory or I'm going to teach classes
Mm,
until it's time to retire.
mm.
Or they say I'm going to retire right now because I'm done. There are other researchers, and 5% or so, and I'm one of them. I would say there's always going to be something I want to research, always. Not necessarily, it could be a laboratory or just something, I don't know. But
Mm.
for me personally, my goal is to get this research done,
Mhm.
what's in the book, have 10 people who are able to live a happy life, whatever that means to them, and then I'm just go to whatever other project, whatever that is. Seriously, I have I'm a scientist. I can't help it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
You're a
Maybe I'm
scientist
gonna
you're 8 years old, so it's not gonna change. It's like you're
right.
a scientist.
Yes, I don't know. Whatever life throws at me, I'm gonna look at it.
I love that. You have such a beautiful spirit, and thank you for bringing so much joy into a field that is so, like intriguing and
Hmm.
very elect, like very tiny mini people that actually go and work on nuclear engineering and
Yeah.
nuclear medical science. It's like it's a niche, and
Hmm.
it's incredible to be able to talk about it in with so much,
Hmm.
and you're doing it so well, and I think you're incredible, like truly
Thank you.
incredible.
Thank you. I'm
Really.
honored as well.
It's such a delight. I mean, this series is about leadership, and I think
Hmm.
you are leading so much without probably even
Hmm.
knowing it, leading
Uh-huh.
all the young girls and young women in this science and feeling like,
Hmm.
oh, Dusya, look at her, what she's doing. And you're
Yeah.
probably one of the very, very, very few women in doing this research. So, how does it feel to you if I say you're a leader? How do you see it?
I feel humbled, honestly,
Mm,
because I believe that there's so many women in this world who can be leaders. Honestly, whatever their field is,
mm,
every woman is born to be a leader. Because we have, if you are, because there's so many women who are also mothers, and
yes.
a mother is also leadership. It's also a leadership role.
Yes.
And so I believe that it's our nature to be leaders. And it doesn't have to be like an ambassador like me or in your capacity, but you can be a leader in whatever you're passionate, whatever where your heart is, that's where your leadership is. That's what you're
Yes.
good at in being a leader. And if there's any woman or little girl out there who says, I don't know who I want to be, but she just wants to look at women around the world, and there's a woman who inspires her because that woman's doing something that she thinks, wow, that is so amazing. I want to be like that. I would say
Yes.
go for it. Follow your
Yeah.
heart.
Follow your heart and do it. I love this. This is so beautiful. What advice will you give women and young girls and young women about using their curiosity to learn more? Like, I think the way you speak about it, you have such a pleasure and so much fulfillment in
Hmm.
doing that. Can you just share some of that for young women so that they really feel it?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Here's the thing. I had a lot of setbacks, and what I mean by that is I had a lot of people saying, that is ridiculous. Don't do that. Like, are you crazy? I've heard that more times than I can care to count.
Mm,
But the thing is, at the beginning, I thought, okay, maybe something is wrong with me. Maybe that is. But then the more I learned about how the world is, how people across the globe are, how I mean, I had so many, I mean, Marie Curie was very inspirational in my family. My family raised me, and the philosophy in my family was women are strong people who deserve as much acknowledgement as any male scientist.
Mm.
And Marie Curie, and there were a bunch of other women who I can't think of who were inspiration to me. And I think also the idea that I learned from a young age to be resilient. Like, okay, I'm like, okay, but this is the right thing to do. And
Mm.
there's some people who will not listen, but then like when you're on stage, like I'm just gonna give you an example. Like when you're a comedian and then you're on stage, and there are people, there's gonna be like, let's say there's 50 people sitting and watching, listening to you. There may be 50 people who are gonna like boo you out and say, "Are you crazy?" Blah, 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 blah. But then on this side, there may be one or two people who say, "That is amazing! Wow, I loved it."
Yeah.
Focus on
Focus on
them.
them. I love that.
Yes,
Yeah. Focus on
the
them.
same thing.
So I'm
Same
your
thing.
cheerleader, Dusya. You know that. You
Thank
always
you.
do that. And I look forward to having you back when you graduate and you finished your research to celebrate everything you do. Thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone,
you.
for being with us. That was amazing. I love you and good luck with everything you do. You're
Thank
incredible.
you. Thank you.
Ah, that was really nice.